and then you set these expectations of yourself that are unrealistic, and then that's when you burn out. I think sometimes we live in this culture of like, you got to go hard 100% of the time, and then you got to make sure that you push your mind and your body and your soul to the limit. But I feel like our minds and our bodies and our souls have limits.
I don't know about you, but I've gone through many seasons of burnout where I have no motivation to practice, edit, work on a project. I am just so frustrated musically, personally, physically, but I keep one thing in mind that has helped me get through that wall. Believe it or not, I learned it from a fitness book. So the best advice I ever received on productivity, practice, and progress, I got from a fitness book. I'm about to share that with you right now. So here's how it applies to you as a musician and to life in general. Hope you enjoy. Today's tea is Tazo Earl Grey. So good. Ooh.
So I was just about to shut off the lights when I was filming something for Patreon, and then something popped in my head and I wanted to share it with you because this is the number one phrase that runs through my head when I'm working on something, whether it's on Patreon, whether it's editing, YouTube. This is also when I was teaching in public schools. I was a bilingual literacy teacher, or working out, just all disciplines of my life. This has really helped me, and it's helped me grow at a steady pace rather than throw myself into a project, get really burnt out, and then never want to touch it again. And this is something that one of my favorite authors and speakers said. Her name is Susie Larson. She said, on the good days, take more ground. And on the days where you feel tired or you feel like you've injured yourself or pulled something, then you show yourself grace, because you've taken more ground on the good days. So it's kind of balancing yourself out. And I thought that really is so applicable to music and to practicing. Because on the good days, when you feel good, when you feel like you have the time, take more ground. Practice that scale an extra 5 minutes. Practice and sing an extra song. Dive into music theory just a little bit more. Push yourself just a little bit more. Because then on the days when you, like, maybe you jammed your finger, you can't play. Well, there's other things that you could do, but you don't want to push it with your finger. Just show yourself grace. There's nothing wrong with that. I think sometimes we live in this culture of like, you got to go hard 100% of the time, and then you got to make sure that you push your mind and your body and your soul to the limit. But I feel like our minds and our bodies and our souls have limits, and life comes at you. And then you set these expectations of yourself that are unrealistic. And then that's when you burn out. And that's when you put your instrument down and you don't want to look at it for the next day. And that day turns into a week. And that week turns into a month. And you know where I'm going with this. And I think it's very, very applicable to everything. To working out, to eating well, you know? Well, I don't know if you can take more ground when you eat. When you feel like you have the energy, you take the next step to try to further your progress. You're developing a discipline within you to try to push yourself in a healthy way. But then on the days, because we all have those days when you are sick, when you feel tired, when you know you pushed yourself way too hard the previous day, mentally, physically, and you're like, yeah, I need to rest. Your body does need rest. You need to show yourself grace. And I think there's a healthy balance between hard work and grace. And I'm still learning that with all aspects of my life. But I've also learned that if when I'm working hard on something, like a project, and if I don't meet the expectation that I have, like set on my calendar, like, oh, I need to do this, and this, and it needs to be done at this time, it needs to be done very well, and I just feel like it's hard because I'm juggling so much, and then I start to get frustrated with myself. And you really don't need to. incredibly unnecessary. And I think it's perfectly fine to show yourself grace. I think we're really good at showing other people grace, at least I hope we are. But we also need to show ourselves grace in that, knowing that we are not perfect people, that we are not machines, that we are human, and there are things that we can optimize our bodies by eating well, sleeping, resting, enjoying time off, laughter, and taking care of others, giving, being generous, because that's good for your soul. But also there's that balance of working hard and achieving your goal and accomplishing something. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to make sure that we have that scale. It doesn't get out of balance. All right. So there's that balance of, on the good days, take more ground. And on the days when you can't, or you just need a break, show yourself some grace. But then pick it back up, start again, and tackle it from a mindset of it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Just take that one step in front of the other. Focus on your progress and not perfection is something that I say a lot on this channel, and I hope that's something that you take to heart, because your journey is going to look very different from somebody else's. Okay, so I hope that helped you. Take more ground on the days that you feel like you can. And on the other days when you can't, show yourself some grace.